All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the podcast. This is episode number 4. I think it's number 4, maybe number 5. I don't know. So it's Unpack Your Bag. You know what we do here. We unpack your bag. You know, you put yourself out there and just kind of see what the world says about you. And you just got to take it, you know, because that's what happens in life. But today, I have my guest today. Today is the day that I brought my very special friend who I've known. How long have I known you?
I don't know, but very special friend sounds weird. Let's go ahead and clarify that. Like, my very special
a good friend.
Don't call me that. Don't call me that.
Touche, I get you. But my good friend Chantel, she's here on the podcast today. We want to discuss a lot of great shallow topics because we're not going to even go deep today. We're just going to get really shallow and a bunch of important topics. Okay,
that's funny because most people would be like, "You gonna ask her deep questions, right?" Like nope. Anybody who knows the two of us is gonna be like, "Oh, this gonna be good. We're gonna be talking like some real psychology type stuff."
No, we're going all the way superficial, super shallow, just like top layer stuff. Okay.
Oh, this is easy peasy.
So, what's the worst moment in your life?
Worst moment? Oh, right off the bat. Okay, no time to think. The worst moment? I don't know. That wasn't on the list of pre-approved questions. I told you it's improv. This is improv, baby. You know. Okay. Don't trip. How's everything though? Everything's pretty good. Living through this Rona, trying to figure out how to
live,
just trying to figure out how to be, because everything's changing.
I know it was like everything was fine. Then one day, everyone lost their jobs, and like a day, and then life just changed out of nowhere. Where it's like can't go outside, got to wear masks 24/7.
Literally,
things started to open up and then shutting back down out of nowhere, and you know, I don't know.
God told everybody to go to their room.
I know, right?
Like literally, honestly, he put the whole world on punishment and was like, "I don't want to hear no more stuff." And you just like, whoa.
No, real talk though. But I've been liking this. I low key. I'm working and stuff, but I've been liking it. I don't mind being at home because I was commuting all the time. Okay. You know how it is commuting.
Yeah.
And I don't mind being at home. Like, to be honest, like I'm cool.
It's an adjustment. Yeah. It's an adjustment only because I have moments where I'm super quiet into myself, but.
Are you more introverted or extroverted?
It depends, right? It depends. If I have a situation where I have to be extroverted, then I'm going to be extroverted. So I work. I have to be up, moving, I work with kids. So talking to the kids, talking to adults, talking to parents, like it's a big part of my job.
Yeah.
So when I go home, I'm very introverted. Like I don't have anything left to say to anybody.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I need to save what I got for the next day.
Really?
Yeah. Same thing with being in law school. You're constantly presenting arguments and, formulating words and opinions and thoughts, and which is great. I love it. But
so you're a debater by like natural debater, would you say?
Yes, for sure.
Good, me too.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Why do you like debating so much? Do you debate like more like your point is correct, or is it more like you just like to see the argument unfold?
Okay, so this is growth.
Okay.
Right? Because when I was younger, just like I'm right and everybody else is wrong because you guys are stupid, right?
Okay.
And clearly I'm right.
That's still me sometimes.
It's a little bit arrogant, a little bit like duh.
But it's okay.
But then I've learned, right? So then the growth part of that is I've learned that you communicating like that, nobody's listening to what you have to say.
That's
and
true.
It depends on your reason for communicating this information, right? If you want somebody to learn something, you can't hit them like that.
That's true.
So my growth area is now when I do it, I'll tell you what I need to say. And then after that, I'm quiet.
Really?
Yeah. Now I'll just be like, all right, well.
I understand. I have that same issue, like me, because like I just want to, like when I know I'm right all the way to the end. So like, I'm trying to tell you like, this is it. Like I don't get why you don't get it.
And clearly you're wrong because the sky is blue, bro.
Yes. But what I found like lately in the last like probably 6 months is that if you want someone to listen to you, the best way to get someone to listen to you is to listen to them unbiasedly, completely, and just like listen and clarify them all the way to the point of, and then add a small suggestion and then clarify them all the way.
Growth area.
Yeah, that's why
growth area.
I would argue to the teeth, like, you don't listen. Why don't you get it? This makes sense. This logically makes sense. Why are you, but
growth area.
Yeah.
So look, this is an anecdote. This happened to me today, right?
Okay.
So, I work at a job where I kind of support tutors and teachers and alike.
Okay.
So
you're the middle of the tutors, teachers kind of thing, and students.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it.
Okay.
So this is me being transparent, right, in my growth areas. So there was this situation today where we're doing this blended online from home work and then also in the building work sometime, right? It's very blended. So one of the ladies that we just hired comes in. She's here on Tuesday, which is fine, right? If the building is open, you're more than welcome to come in and work.
She said you were just hired, you said?
Yeah, she was just hired. So she's relatively new. Okay. And if you want to come into the building and work, like, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay.
So I talked to her and I'm like, okay, well, the rest of the summer school team is going to be here on Wednesday. And she's like, okay, I'll be here on Wednesday. So I'm working, running around, doing a lot of stuff. And then I look up, the entire summer school team is on site, but her. And I'm like, yo, I thought she said she was working. So I get my phone.
Okay.
I sent her a quick little text. I thought you were working on site today. And she's like, oh, well, I decided that I wasn't going to come up there because of X, Y, and Z, but I'm still doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you decided.
Wait, was she supposed to be there with the kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she was supposed to, like, it's literally like she was supposed to be at work today.
You called her.
But she decided that today she was going to work from home. And I'm like, yo,
But everyone fit their kind of schedule around you being there, and then you just kind of don't even say nothing and then just not show up.
I'm thinking, where they do that at, right?
Yeah.
So this is my growth area, because Chantel wants to be like, yo, that's out of pocket, bro. Like, you got to be at work.
For sure. Yeah.
Period. I told you, you got to be here on Wednesday because the rest of the team is going to be here on Wednesday. Like, Wednesday is your day to be here. So you can't decide without telling nobody that you're not coming.
Yeah,
right?
Especially not even in advance. You just tell me the day of when you're not here. I ain't coming in.
Thank you. And the only reason why you telling me now is because I text you, right?
Yeah, so I shouldn't be the one reaching out to you figuring out where you at when you say.
So what's happening, right? So what's happening? And so then I go in and I literally sit in my vice principal's office and I'm like, yo, I need you to tell me how to handle this. Like, what words do I need to use?
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, well, do you need me to call her? And I'm like, no, I can call her. But what I want to be like is, bro, what's up? This is work 101. Like,
yeah. You should already know. Like, I don't even know why.
If you're not coming, you tell somebody. Boom, right?
Yeah.
Simple.
Is this person an adult?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, anyways, okay.
Yeah, if you're not coming,
you should know. Okay.
I'm gonna need you to say something.
Right, for sure.
So shout out to the people in that I work with that have an interest in developing me to become a leader, because he's like, nah, this is what you need to do. You need to see it's X, Y, and Z. Turns out it's a whole miscommunication. Turns out she was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, and she was super apologetic. So now I'm on the phone and I feel bad. I'm like, dang, you know what?
She got you like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, dang, you know what? I'm sorry. It's a communication error, but for future reference, like, let's touch base and make sure that this doesn't happen again. So I said all of that to say that like 10 years ago, I would have went up. I'd have been.
Why are you not here? With I
wouldn't have needed counseling through this moment. Like, I wouldn't have gone into my superior's office to ask for like, how do I handle this? Like, I literally would have been like, yo, what's up? So
that's not always the way.
Like, yo, what's up? This is real simple, right? Because we agree that this is simple.
It sounds. I mean, in the perfect world. I mean, not even perfect world. In the common world, that makes total sense.
Basic. If you're not coming, you let somebody know.
But common sense is not common anymore.
Right. So if I go up on a girl, then you know what I mean, I lose. She's looking at me differently, you know what I mean? And what we're able to get from her in the future is totally changed because of that one raw negative interaction, because I'm operating out of my feelings, because I need to prove that I'm right, because I'm hot, because this is something that she should know, when in reality she had no idea. She was oh no, I thought it was X, Y, and Z, you know? And I'm like, dang.
Okay, which makes sense. That makes sense, you know. But I know what you feel, because it's like, you should know. But honestly, like I do as a parenting, like I think like Autumn will do something wrong, right? But if I never told her like verbatim, if I didn't say this was wrong, she won't get in trouble the first time. There's no trouble. She could grab a knife and stab me in my leg, right? But if she knew, like, I didn't know that I couldn't play with knives, I didn't know, I'm not gonna be like, what the, you know, because it's like, you don't know better. But when you know better and then you do it, then okay, that's different, you know. But you got to know, you know. But the good thing with you is you learn to ask advice before you went and just react on a situation, because a lot of times, as humans, we
just be like, yo, how come you didn't?
Yeah.
And I'm good for that.
Really? You're like,
I'm good for that. Oh, I'm good for that.
Are you more hot-headed or?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is not something that I would admit prior to like maybe like a year ago. It's not something that I ever consider myself, because I try to be even, right? Real laid back, real even. But the truth of the matter is, if I in my head think that something is just wrong, I'm hot.
What if you have no like factual proof? Like it just feels like it's wrong. Like, okay, what if someone what if someone calls you and they kind of give you an attitude but give you the exact question. You ask a question like, oh, I need this kind of paperwork. And then they're like, oh, why you calling? You need to call back tomorrow. I already told you last week. Yeah. Would you cop an attitude would you be like, I understand? For sure.
No,
really?
No. Why are you calling? Blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, look, just because you don't like your job today, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm asking for information, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I feel you.
Now the question is, would I take that out on her?
Yeah, okay.
Probably not. I would probably be like, oh, wow.
What if this lady's demeanor is always this way? Every time you interact with this person, they're always the same kind of rigid, unpleasant, like,
I don't have
you know what I mean?
I don't have conversations with people like that over and over again because it's not good for me, right?
Because you know yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll immediately put that person in the category and be like, oh, I can't talk to her. Right. And I will literally go talk to 15 other people so that I don't have to talk to you. Because I know that if you give me this energy, I'm going to go there and then I can't stay there. Like,
really?
I can't stay there. No.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely cannot because I'm going to be angry.
Yeah.
See, and then I'm going to be walking around pissed off because the lady, this is just her attitude.
See, that doesn't bother me.
And again, growth area, because I'll be like, yo, like, we don't know what people are going through in their life.
True.
Like,
that's true. She might have been divorced and then lost a kid or something, or just stubbed her toe, and car broke down this morning and spilled coffee on the way to work because you had to walk there and get to the bus stop, spill coffee, got to work, boom, then got yelled at, and then she's coming at you saying this, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
All of that. And just as quick as I could be like, yo, what's up with you? Is it just as quick as I could be like, damn, y'all, she need help. Like, I should have been better to put myself in a position to help her because I didn't even know she was going through X, Y,
you know what that's called right there?
So it's like
that's called empathy.
Yeah, so it's like but it's a sliding scale. It's a sliding scale.
On certain days you may get it.
It's a sliding scale. Somebody told me it's a pendulum, and the pendulum swing crazy is just as wide as wide as it swings the other way.
And I've been really good at keeping my temperature of like my personality calm, like when it comes to like getting upset about people. But I'm not gonna lie, like a few days ago I cussed out a kid.
No, you didn't. I did. For what?
Because the kids were playing. I was teaching some kids
how to skate. You cussed out a kid.
Pause. Yeah,
a child,
like a maybe 9-year-old kid.
No, not a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I was a little black kid. And I felt bad, but in my defense, I don't know what it was, but I was teaching the other kids how to skate. I had my back turned, and the other kids are playing behind me as a group of kids. I don't really know this kid that well, but he was just there, You knew
him well enough to cuss him out.
Well, no, I didn't know him that well. But so what happened? They were playing, and then all of a sudden he just comes up and just smacks the back of my neck. Oh. It wasn't hard. It was just like this. It wasn't hard. Didn't hurt. No pain. Yeah. But I went from 0 to like 1,000. I was like, "What the fuck, you little mother! I will beat the fuck out of you right now. Like, I will look. Don't you touch me. I'm not a kid. Do I look like a kid? I'm an adult, dog. I'm not your friend. I don't like you. Don't talk to me. I will fuck you up." And then he was like,
the 9-year-old. He's just like,
and he was like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "Yeah, you can not beat it." And then like 10 minutes later, I call him back. "You come here. What's your name? What's your name?" He's like, "Blah blah." I'm like, "Look, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. I will hurt you, little kid. I'm not your friend."
And you went in on him again.
And then I was like, "All right, now I'm good."
The kid left. You called him back to go in on him again?
No, because I called him back because I was going to apologize. But then once I saw him come up in his face, I got mad again. And I was like, "No, you need to understand now. You will not touch me, bro. Don't touch me."
Yo, that's funny.
That's the only. But honestly, outside of that, I never usually go off on anybody. You can do crazy shit. I will literally be super, not passive, but I don't get mad. I look at it like in the situation, just like, okay, they're doing this. I know I'm feeling this way, but don't react this way because they want you to react this way. So don't. And my whole game plan is just about not getting the reaction that they want from me.
You're such an elevated human.
Really?
Like shout out to, absolutely. Because one thing that I feel like a lot of people struggle with is the balance of their emotions, right? The truth is we feel so much stuff on any given day for any given reason, right? Yeah. And that affects the way we deal with people, right?
That's true,
which is why we have to acknowledge what we're feeling, why we're feeling that way, and hopefully move on. So so we don't cuss out 9-year-old children.
I know.
Right?
But it's a freak action.
You said like I've never, like I don't typically do this.
Never, rarely. I mean, rarely. And people that really deserve it, that really should get the wrath all the way of Anthony Perkins. Yeah. In my head, I'm like, they want me to be pissed off, so the last thing I'm gonna do is get pissed off. That would be the very last thing ever. You want me to get mad? I promise you won't even see a flinch. That's I think it's my pride. My pride is like, fuck you. You think you're gonna like get me to feel a certain way because you want me to be upset or mad, bet you won't.
Do you like rant in like a safe space like after it's over and be like, and this nigga did what?
Yeah, it depends. It depends. Most time I'll tell my wife or something like that, or I'll tell like a friend. I'll let it out there. I don't really get that crazy, but I would tell it. But it's done. But the person never knows, and if they ever did hit me emotionally, they'll never know.
I dig that because
they'll never know.
I dig that today. Because most people like have like said some crazy stuff to me that have hurt my feelings, and I've been like, cool. Yeah, and then I'll like leave, right? I'll leave and get in the car. Cry like, that hurts so dead bad. Dead ass. I'll leave, get in the car, and be like, cry a little bit. And
I'm because that shit it hurts. Like,
clean it up.
They hit some deep points, and like it was some true stuff or something that's like home, like hits in the heart. It's like, damn, you went there. And I didn't. You lucky I didn't give you that because I'm a better person. But you lucky that God's with me because
I got some words for you. Or it'll manifest in a different way and it'll cause my mind to be on fire, right? Like I vent often, right? So I have a couple people that are close to me and I vent to them often, especially at work.
Okay.
Especially at work.
You know that there's trust of people that's like, okay, I know I can tell you.
And I'll be like, and this, and then this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then I'll be like, now am I tripping? And they'll be like, well, kind of. Right?
You a little off today.
You got to have honest people around you. And I only want honest people around
100%.
People that gaslight and stuff like that are afraid to tell me their feelings and stuff. I can't even fuck with you. I can't have you in my circle.
I feel you on that.
So then they'll be like, a little bit. And I'll be like, oh, okay, dang. Or then I'll be like, did she have to talk to me like that? And they'd be like, nah, she was out of pocket. I was like, and that's what I said, right? Like,
that's how I feel. I know I was
that's what I said. And then she said, right? So then it'll go that way. But I vent very, very often. And if I can't, then it'll just set my mind on fire and it's something I'll think about.
Really? Okay. Well, man, so you got to let it out though. You got to, because like you ruminate on it and get pissed off. And, I understand that. Because I think you have to let it out some way, shape, or form, even if it's not the person. But no, like that's for me. Like I don't know. I just want to be really in control of my emotions all the time. So I really try to heavily think of every situation I'm into. Like when someone gets on the phone and gets pissed off, I don't even take it personally anymore. I don't take anything personal. I mean, I do. But I don't ever react to it personally. I just don't. I empathize. Like maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're going through this. I kind of like go through the whole worst case scenario in my head, and then I feel bad, and then I'm like, okay.
That's incredible because that's literally what I'm working on. Like, you know how you have things that you're like, I got to fix this. So one thing that I'm really working on is not being so involved in my emotions because your emotions are misleading.
Yeah, and they're they go up and down. They go up and
they're
down.
Up and down. They're misleading. They're a lie. So that's not something that can control you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's something that you literally have to feel for the moment and put that shit away.
Yeah, like tuck it in a box somewhere deep in your heart and then let it out in the people that need to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
People that know me know I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna put that in the box, right? And I like put it away. But our emotions are literally like.
Yeah, they can fuck you up.
I was having a conversation with my mentor yesterday, right? Because I was in a funky space and I didn't understand why.
Were you like in a bad mood the day, or just like was like you woke up kind of in a bad mood, or was it like that particular moment?
So typically, my days are pretty much the same, especially when I have to work. I wake up 6:30. I have a prayer partner. We get on the phone. We pray, knock it out. And then after that prayer, I was like really emotional, and I was like, "Yo, what, like
kind of hit you a certain way."
Yeah, so like I'm trying to get myself ready, and I'm like trying to shake it off. But then at work, like I noticed, like I'm frazzled.
Yeah, like everything's kind of like
and I'm like, "What's up with me?" You know what I mean? Like it's a funky space. So then, I was texting her after, and I was like, "Yo, this is nuts. Like maybe we shouldn't pray in the morning, right? Like that's what I'm thinking. Like if it's gonna have me feeling like
maybe
this.
You just threw me off your energy or something. Maybe your prayer. You had something on you that's like I don't know. I don't need your prayers.
I was like, we might have to figure something out. Like maybe what we're doing but what it made me feel like is maybe what we're doing is not effective.
Okay.
Right? Because, you know, when you start your day that way, then obviously you want to be like, I'm strong and powerful and mighty.
Yeah, right.
We about to knock some shit out
and nothing
today.
Should bother you at that point.
Right? Like Hulk strength, right? But then I'm like, but it didn't work today because I'm tripping. And she's like, of course it's effective, blah, blah, blah. You cannot allow your emotions to dictate your decision makings in the way you think about things. She was like, you have to put that in a box. And I was like, damn, you right. Like I have to focus on what the facts are, right? What are the facts of this day?
Yes.
Not the emotion. That's part of the law school training too. What are in the facts? Like that didn't happen. You just made that shit up. That's not in the facts, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What are the facts? Right?
Yeah, I understand.
Hit me with the facts. Nothing else.
I understand.
Nothing else. You can't make decisions based on anything else.
I understand. And it's easier said than done in the moment. Because like I used to be not necessarily hot-headed, but I was more emotional, where I would react more. But I think now over the years, I think because the way I was raised with like a disabled brother, and he's like schizophrenic, bipolar, hard of hearing, deaf, and mentally retarded, and he's super strong, and so he's very aggressive, and you kind of have to, when he gets mad and breaks your shit, and he's mad at you, you have to apologize to him for him being mad. So that kind of prepared me for people.
That's a completely that's a whole different mind flip.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of fucked me over in some ways where I was super passive and let people just take advantage of me because I would just apologize for random shit, you know? And then into my adult years, I started realizing it, and I was like, okay, I got some work I got to do. Because like I'm just letting people just walk over me, and apologizing for shit I don't even need to apologize for, you know? I had to like really like, so like at the point in my life now, like I'm better, but like it took years of figuring out like I was letting people do shit to me that I didn't even deserve, and I thought it was my fault, you know? And so now it works better because now I keep my emotions in check, because I had to put my emotions away so many times that now it's like, okay, they're being an asshole, whatever, doesn't even bother me, you know?
That's more power to you, because I'm telling you, that emotional thing, like, that's something, especially for women, bruh.
I know.
Like, I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to say
but
this.
It's true.
And like,
it might be true.
To the people listening, like, I'm sorry, but it's true. Women can be really emotional basket cases, like, no lie. You know what I mean? Where it's like flipped and you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, I've noticed that, but I think
it's exhausting, and I'm a woman.
I can only understand to a certain degree. I'm not a woman, you know, but I do see, like, to me, it seems like you guys' emotions are stronger than ours. So that's why it's harder for it to it's easier for me to override my emotions, because I can just, it doesn't matter. I box it. It's much easier I think for you guys, it's just like the emotions are way stronger than it is for me. So I can put it away easier because it's not as strong. But you guys, like, it's like all over, like,
it's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't even want to put all women in the same category and all of that stuff, because some women aren't super emotional, right? True, like that's the case. But
just as a species, you know, in generally,
some emotional creatures.
But I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing either.
I don't think it's like, because what I hate was people will hear like, oh, women are emotional, and then like, oh, you just think women are. No, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying like, this is how men are just more logical. Like, we just think in a boxy or linear way.
But I would say being emotional makes us emotionally being more emotionally mature.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Meaning that we're able to deal with situations.
That's true.
I think that hit us emotionally, right? Yeah. Because even though we don't want to deal or make decisions or constantly lead or act out of our emotions, there are things that are going to hit, right?
Yeah, and there's things you need your emotions to make a decision on. There are times, you know.
Boom. So in an instance like that, what happens is you're more equipped to handle the emotional situation that just happened, right? If somebody dies, that's not logic, that's emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The COVID, like, think the way that people are dealing with this coronavirus right now, they're not dealing out of logic, they're dealing out of emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Because their whole normalcy was stripped away.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
And there's people around me that are tripping and they don't know why. And I'm trying to tell them, like, yo, it's not even your fault.
Yeah.
Like, everything you knew to be normal just went black 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
And now you're trying to adjust to this new life. And it's only been 3 months.
It's only been 3 months. And you don't even see, and we're looking at a timeline for us to go back to normal, right?
Yeah.
Except the clock we're looking at is broke because don't nobody know, right? So
true.
we're counting down the moments, like,
you just like hoping and waiting to see if it's ever will go back normal, like if it does, and then when it does, and if it's even a feasible time frame, you know. So I mean, I understand that, you know.
Coupled with, you know, the civil unrest, black people being hanged from trees, and all of the whole Black Lives Matter thing, all of that coupled with COVID, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I think that people need to address that trauma before they can move on, because that's probably why some of us are acting in ways that we don't really understand. Yeah,
and I think that sometimes, like, we just lack emotional awareness. You know, I mean, myself included before, and I see a lot of people, and it's like, I don't think they understand, like, that they're sometimes emotionally immature because they're reacting to something instead of just, you don't have to do the shit off of emotion. You can think and then decide to make a plan of action and then execute the action, not just be upset and then go do shit out of emotion, and then now you locked up.
I mean, exactly.
Now you're in a worse position, and it's like, like if some dude wants to like get down on me and fight, I have to literally think about, if I do this, what are the consequences in the middle of the moment?
Yeah, what are the consequences?
That's
the logical decision, right? Like,
which
that's
is hard
what I mean.
To do.
Yes, that's what I mean by acting out of emotion, especially when there's so many things. Like, as Black people, you asked me, and we kind of transitioned a little bit, how I feel on the Black Lives Matter movement in relation to what we're talking about. And with emotions, I think that as a people, there's a diversity of Black experiences. What I mean by that is that not all Black people go through the same things, right?
True, 100.
There's a lot of different experiences that we possess, right? There's rich Black people, there's poor Black people, there's
in the ghetto, then there's the
living in the ghetto, there's
the hood, you know,
there's suburban Black people, there's Black people that were raised in one parent households, Black people that were raised in two parent households. There's a diversity of Black experiences.
Right. It's just true.
And when we understand that no Black experiences are the same, except the one thing that binds us is the feeling that at any given moment, our lives could be snatched. At any given moment, they don't give any shits about our life.
That's true. That's
our
very
existence,
true.
right?
That's very true.
So even though there's a diversity of Black experiences, we all share that trauma.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody does, because I know I do.
Exactly.
I know for sure.
We all share that trauma. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And coupled with slavery, and even the fact that not all Black people that are in America right now are the descendants of slaves, right? You have
true.
People from Africa and Jamaica, right? So they may not have that epigenetic marker, right? But what they do have
is that same
is the understanding that I am not valued here.
Yeah, this is true.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is very true.
So even in the diversity of that experience, the one thing that unites us is something extremely traumatic.
Yeah.
Extremely traumatic. So most people, and I'm talking to a lot of people, and I try to talk to people who are educated. I try to talk to people for different backgrounds.
Right, just to get a better feel
different of educational experiences, all of that, right? Yeah. And one thing I'm noticing is, like, especially after Robert Fuller, that kind of took things to another. I'm already feeling some type of way, right? But I was more angry with George Floyd, right?
Okay.
Ahmaud Arbery, anger. Breonna Taylor, anger. Trayvon Martin, anger. Mike Brown, anger. Ezell Ford, anger, right?
I understand.
Angry.
Right.
But Robert Fuller, I was devastated.
Yeah.
My heart was broken. Like, my heart hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like a physical sadness, a heaviness that I was walking around with for days.
Yeah. Wow.
For days.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that hit harder.
Yeah, I understand.
And that's what I mean by our emotions, because that's an emotional thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's an emotional thing.
It made me feel a certain way, because, like, even with the George Floyd thing, I heard about it. Like, my first reaction was, like, I think I hear about all this stuff happening so many times. I was kind of numb to it until I watched the video. And I watched the video, like, I almost broke down, because it was like, this is just, it's terrible. But then, you know, Robert, I was like, what is this really? Like, is this really a hanging? Is it suicide? And then the one that happened in Victorville, you know? And I'm just like, I don't know if this is just...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, you know, but I don't have the facts yet to know for sure. But what I felt like was, damn, we are kind of in a race war at this point. And it's definitely divided, like, whites against blacks, everyone against police, like, you know, and then it goes down to Christians and Catholics and every single religion, and then light skins, black, dark skins
that shapes our experience, you know, comes into play.
Exactly. And it's like, I didn't even know how to feel at first. I was just like, if this guy got hung, you know, I'm like, we're in a way different world than I really imagined we were. You know, like, we're really in a place where, like, we're about to have a war in America for sure. And that's
what I mean by the diversity of Black experiences, because of those experiences, we can't all tell all the Black people how to feel. You know what I mean? Like, all the Black people are not going to feel one way about something, right?
True.
And it's up to, especially if we want change. Like, if we're talking about systematic change, whatever it is you believe, that if that's complete economic withdrawal, total separation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Existing in unity. I can't think of the word for it right now, but full integration, right?
Yeah,
whatever it is that your end goal is, we want change, right? And in order for that to happen, we have to acknowledge that we're all going to go about it differently.
That's true.
Because we all have different experiences.
That's true.
And that's one thing that I feel like we don't talk about enough. We all have different experiences.
Yeah.
But one thing we can agree on,
that feeling,
something's got to change.
Yeah.
That feeling. Like, I can't wake up and do this every day.
I think how I feel is, like, I don't understand it, because, like, I feel like everyone's telling everyone else to change. Like, we want change in America. But then a lot of people that I hear saying we want change don't want to change themselves. It's like you want to be mad and stay angry.
Right.
Even then stuff does change and you still want to be you want to stay upset and have like some sort of victim mentality.
I agree with that to an extent.
I'm not saying this is everybody, but
right.
I've heard a lot of people that are like, they're just mad. Mm-hmm. They don't know why they're mad. They don't have any facts based on the stuff they're talking about, especially with politics, which I don't even want to go into. But
then that's the emotional part of it, what I'm saying. Like, you get to a point that something has to change. We dying. You know, we're dying. So when you're saying like fix your mentality and some people just want to be angry,
because I don't, the thing is like, if you're going to tell everybody else to change and change the police,
but I don't. But in this particular situation, I don't need to be changed. In this particular, granted, everybody has room for growth and all of that stuff. But in this particular situation, I'm being killed.
Yeah,
my children, as a community, I have a target on my back. You cannot ask me to change as long as there is a target on my back. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
As long as I'm being killed, as long as I'm being murdered, as long as my life is intrinsic is less in value than yours, I'm not changing nothing. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't because of the trauma. Like, we have to look at the trauma that this shit causes. We're talking about 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow segregation that leaves marks that have not been healed. And they can't be healed because Black people are still hanging from trees.
That's true.
They can't be healed because men like George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery are still being murdered.
Yeah,
they're being killed for no other reason than the fact that they are Black.
That's true.
So I can't. I'm not changing nothing. I can't. That's like asking a rape victim who is getting raped. She's constantly getting raped. She's still getting raped, and you're telling her change your mentality. How? I'm being raped. I can't change my mentality until after I'm done being raped.
That's true.
I can no longer not be a victim until after I'm done being victimized.
But there are people that aren't being victimized per se, like verbatim to them. But then they take on the victimhood of somebody else and then take it like it's theirs to then just stay in the situation rather than making something for themselves. Depends on, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I mean. And that's where we come back to this conversation about the diversity of Black experiences. Because I'll be honest with you. Single parent household. My mom owned her house though, which is may not be same thing, but still single parent household. Mom worked for a living. Went to decent, okay schools. Okay. And I had a man who raised me like his own daughter. Right? Yeah. He was there for me. He yelled at me. He gave me money. He supported me. He went to my games. You know what I mean? All the things that a good father do, except he was not my biological father. Right. So I had a plus. Right. That's a plus column. Right. Low income parent. That's a minus. Single parent, that's a minus. Okay schools, that's a minus because I'm Black. And I'm Black. That's a minus. And I'm a female. So that's a minus, right? Okay. So now let's look at the plus column. I had a man who spoke life into me. Yeah. Right? Jesus. Yeah. Right? Case in point. If it had not been, right, Jesus.
100.
And then we look at the things that I was able to come in contact with in school, right? Okay. When I was in school, I had teachers who really cared about me. They gave me 1-ups, right? I had teachers who paid for me to send my college applications off. I don't forget that. I have teachers who gave me laptops so that I could work, right? And I'm looking at these experiences, and these are the plus columns, right?
Right, okay.
But if I can count the amount of pluses or the amount of people
that's true.
Who made a difference in my life, think about the people who cannot. Think about the people who didn't have a Eric Jackson, who didn't have a great Avid teacher, who didn't have a great biology teacher. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Understand.
Who didn't have a Minister Peggy raising them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get
and
that.
That's the diversity of experience, right? So then now when I come up, I have a little bit of a better experience than somebody else. And this comes back to a conversation about privilege, right? We have to look at not only do white people have privilege, right? Not only do males have privilege, but we have to look at the privilege of having a 2-parent household.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at the privilege of being raised in this area as opposed to this area. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where the diversity of experiences comes into play. And that's going to tell you the reason why people are reacting the way that they're reacting. It's all going to be different.
Yeah, but also you have to choose to look at it that way, because you can take your same circumstance situation and then be upset that you only had your mom there. You know, you could play your head that way.
Absolutely.
And then not even look at the good stuff and focus on all the bad and then be like, well, my life is shitty.
And then,
you know, I'm in that category of not having two parents, have a mom that works,
right.
you know, didn't have the best schools,
right.
and you can just focus on that, and then
right.
you'll be in the victim mentality of like,
right.
well, shit, my life sucks, you know, and that's
right.
it. But the thing is, you decided to change your mind with the right help, you know.
But again, with the right help,
right?
With the right help. Because I can look back on my life and see clearly without the interventions that I had, if I didn't meet, you know what I mean, the man that raised me when I did, this could have been a totally different situation, could have been a totally different person.
That's true.
And I see that. So what about the girl who's coming up next to me who doesn't have that? Yeah. It's my responsibility to make sure she does. It's my responsibility to reach out and be like, hey, sis, no, we're not doing that.
So be the person that somebody was for you. 100%.
Absolutely. And I think it sucks because I think we have that responsibility in the Black community. And I've never been one to put responsibility on celebrities and people like that. Like, you have the platform, help us and all of that stuff. My mentality is, if I see it, I need to address it. I need to help it. Right. It doesn't matter if I have, you know, 1 billion followers or whatever the case is. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It may not be your calling. You may not need to have thousands and thousands of people. You might need to help 30 people that are really going to change the world.
But how can I affect my portion of it?
Right,
how can I affect my piece of it with the people that I do come in contact with?
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
So I cannot hold people responsible for the help that they did not get.
Yeah, that's true. But
you know?
But you can put them in a position to help themselves.
Boom.
You know?
Boom.
And
you can.
I think for me, it's just I think my big thing is, like, I try to be accountable and take accountability for all my situations and everything that I have to go through. You know, I don't want to put on anybody else, or it's like, I don't want to blame racism for the reason why I don't make it in this day and age. You know, like, at this point, how I view it is like, there is racism.
Right.
But if I will let racism stop me, then I mean, to me, it's like, I didn't want it that bad.
But why do you think that way?
Why do I think that way?
Why do you think that way?
I don't know, watching a lot of self-development and paying attention to my surroundings, and, you know, going to church and being under a man of God like pastor kind of changed my perspective.
But God.
Yeah.
Right. So then we're looking at things that you have that unfortunately, everybody doesn't have access to.
That's true.
You know, so we can hold people accountable and responsible for the things that they have access to. But this is systemic racism in the sense that there are so many people of color in lower income areas and socio disadvantaged areas that do not have access to these things.
Which I do understand that.
So we can't hold them responsible for that.
I do understand
for
that.
the heights that they did not reach.
But you also have access to the internet.
Okay.
And you have access to every single motivational speaker,
but
every
if
single
everything
person
if everything I see is negative, why would I have the mindset to look for something positive?
Because why do you want to stay in negativity?
Why do you think that? It's not that I want to stay in negativity. I'm not saying that.
I understand to a certain degree. It's like, you don't know any better, you know? But you know there's people out there that are Black that make it.
Right.
And there's people out there that make it from your situation.
For sure.
So if you know that,
for sure,
then you know there is a way out possibly.
But are they the exception to the rule, or are they the rule?
What do you mean?
Right. The exception to the rule is some people make it out of dire situations and circumstances. They're the exception.
Yeah. Okay.
When thousands upon thousands, the majority of other people do not. That's the rule.
But, you know, I guess from my point of view, I'm just really optimistic, and I'm always like, I can be the one though.
But
I could be the one. But that's just my personality.
In you. There's something in you. There was something that was put in you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I've been this way since I've been a kid. I've always been like, I'm just, not that I'm the exception to the rule, but I think that I can be that. And there's always a possibility. Even though it looks way worse, and more than likely I can turn out this way, because I was adopted. I didn't have either one of my parents, single mother, you know, with 8 different foster kids. So and I didn't go to the best schools, raised out here. We did have a decent amount of money, but it wasn't like substantial, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying this to put anybody else's situation.
Did they love you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know where your next meal was coming from?
Yes.
Was there ever a moment where you had to walk in, not know where your next meal is coming from, and then take care of the siblings coming up behind you?
No. Because
I work out here, right? And one of the things that affords me, right, working out here in Lancaster, Palmdale, because people think like, oh, this is a cool area, right? Like, people are very blind to the way that a lot of people live out here. I'll say that.
Okay.
And working at this school, these kids come to me because for whatever reason it did not work in their traditional schools, right? Quartz Hill, Highland. I got some kids that have been kicked out of all of them, right? So let me just give you background of the kids I'm working on. However, I've come into contact with a lot of kids, right, who don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Yeah.
They don't. Their moms or their parents are drug addicts, addicted. So when they go home,
it's on them. Like
it's on them to figure it out. Yeah. But not only is it on them to figure it out, they have siblings that are 3 that are in diapers.
Okay,
so then I have to go figure it out. That's my responsibility. And then I have to go to school because this teacher keeps harassing me about some work, and she don't even understand that when I go home, I'm ready to risk it. I'm ready to risk it all.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I'm 16. Like, and I see, and this is not one extreme case that I'm painting.
This is a lot.
This is multiple students, multiple people that have had similar stories.
I see.
We have to be sensitive to that before we dare ask them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and make a life for themselves because my granddad did it. Boy, you can do it too. Right?
Okay.
Well, your boots was cheaper, Grandpa.
That's true. That's a good one. I'm like 30 cents now.
Yeah, your boots was $250. Right? My Timberlands is $150. How am I gonna? I can't.
And I get that part. Okay. I get that part. Okay. And I do understand that there are situations that's like, all right, well, the situation is shitty that it's not that easy to get out of.
Okay.
But there's always a possible way to get out.
Yes.
It is. And the thing is, if you look at your situation and realize this struggle is preparing me for the rest of my life to know like this is this hard right now, but as an adult, I'll be so much stronger than anybody else who's 18 years old. You
know what it takes for them to think like that?
What?
Somebody to tell them.
That's true.
And if they don't have anybody to tell them, they're not thinking like that, especially teenagers.
Yeah. And I don't deal with a lot of teenagers. They're hard to deal with. I'm not gonna lie.
Agreed, man. They're crazy as hell. They're crazy as hell. They talk crazy to you.
Yeah, and they think like they know everything under the sun.
And they don't know nothing
at all. And they try to tell you, and they're like, "Look, I'm just trying to give you a drop of a hand of advice, and that's it. I ain't trying to tell you what to do."
Pet peeve is a student coming to me asking me for help. Right?
Okay.
Right. The fact that you're coming to me asking me for help is great, right?
Okay.
Let me help. Yes, please. Let me help you.
I will help you for sure.
Come through, boo.
Let's go. I promise you.
I'm excited. Come through, right? Yeah. So then I'm doing it in the X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? And then they say, oh, well, why do we have to do it like that? Well, because... and granted, I'm a professional. I do this for a living, so I got a couple comebacks. You got to do it for this reason. Okay, well, they said that I didn't have to do it like that. Well, I'm telling you here that this is the way you got to do it.
Yeah, right. This is what you want to do if you want to get X, Y, and Z.
Right. Well, I would just rather do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, if you do it that way, then it's wrong. Yeah. Right. And then they're going back and forth with me, and eventually I'll get tired and I'll either walk away or like do something else because you're not ready to learn yet. Right. Okay, you're ready to tell me why you're right. That's not going to work.
And I don't feel like even trying to debate you anymore because you ain't trying to listen.
Well, not even that, but it's not going to work. If you're going to tell me why you're right and you're not comprehending the fact that I'm telling you you are wrong, you're not ready to learn.
Especially when you ask me for help.
Boom. You're not ready. So then I'll figure out something else to do.
Okay.
I'm really good at looking at my computer, fake typing, or getting up. I will walk away in a minute. Really? I have the gift of goodbye. I will walk away from somebody in a minute.
Really?
Yes.
That kills me.
Yes. We already talked about it because I will be on fire. We already talked about it because I'll be on fire. I'll be mad. I'll be sad. Like whatever my emotion is, I'll be on fire. So I can't deal with that. Nope. Bye.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'll come back.
Okay.
And then
because I'll be pissed. I'm like,
right. And then they'll be like. Right. So then most often they'll get to a point where it's like, oh, dang, I didn't know that. Right. Dang, I didn't know I had to. Oh, my goodness. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
The aha moment. I didn't know that. And I looked at one girl and I said, you know what? We could fill this building and Home Depot next door with all the stuff you don't know. Like straight up.
Oh, my God.
Straight up. You don't know. That's why I'm here. And that's why I tell them that's why I'm here, Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm here. Because I know. Let me help you, boo.
I've been through some of this stuff. And I kind of know what to do now. Like I can help you get there fast track.
Like, I graduated from high school.
Yeah. I
can help you do it, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every now and then there are some students that you got to tell them just like that.
Yeah.
Because some students will come in entitled and be like, it's your job to help me. No.
Don't. Okay, hold on. About to bite
don't
the hand.
You have to help me? No.
I don't have to do anything. I can just tell you anything.
I don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. Check this out. Okay. And since both of those things are inevitable, I really don't have to do nothing. So don't ever tell me what I have to do, because trust me, I don't. And I don't operate like that, right? Like, don't you have to help me? No.
Do you ever get jaded by people like after so many times of like you putting yourself out there and then
Absolutely.
It's like, I can't do this anymore. Like this kid, like 90% of these kids don't even listen, and then 9% kind of listen, but they give me lip, and then 1%, that one, but do you get like?
But the one that gets it
is worth it.
I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds cliche, and I know this is like a lifetime special, but I know it is. But like, I'm telling you. So student, okay. I don't know if I can refer this podcast to people that work with me. I don't know, because I'm saying student a lot. But student A. Okay. He came in almost every day, high as a kite. Every day high as a kite. Okay. Teacher didn't like to deal with him because he was high, right? Okay. And then he would come sit with me, and I got to teach this dude pre-algebra. High as a kite, right? And he not, and like, and you can imagine somebody high, you not in the mental space to learn. Yeah, you're not. Right? If you're above 18 and you want to smoke, do your thing, right? For sure. But if you want to smoke and have me teach you math, that's not gonna work for me. No, not at all. That's not gonna work. So I would tell him, yo, like maybe don't come to school high. Like maybe smoke after school, right? Yeah. And he'd be like, I know. All right. I know. Student still comes in. Student still comes into school high, right? And I don't turn my back on him. I still joke with him, like, bro, it's your high brain. That's why you don't get it. 5 times 5, 25. It's always been 25. You know what I mean? Like, will be. And I'll make fun of him, like make jokes. Oh, he don't get it, right? You know what I mean? Like I'll make jokes, right? I got to keep myself entertained, right? So I'll make jokes with him, whatever, right? So weeks and weeks go by, and one day he comes in the school and he yells across the learning floor, yo, Miss Chantel, I'm not high today. And I was like, oh my god, I can't make this up. He's like, yo, I'm not high today, right? And
it's like, bro.
And he's so excited. He's so excited. And I'm like, yay.
Right? Thank you, Jesus.
So like from across the room, I'm like, good job, right? I'm excited, but when I see him, I was like, my dog.
That's what I feel you.
Right? Like, good. Let's try to learn today. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what you do. Yeah, for sure.
Eventually, we can transition out of that. You know, there was a student who I used to sit with her every day, and she had the terrible mouth. And I recognize it because I have a terrible mouth too. Okay. But hers was like next level. Okay. Right? And in the middle of a school, you can't be talking like that, girl.
Yeah. Wait till after school. You know what I'm saying? Outside the campus.
Like that, right? So I got like this little like Dollar Tree cape, right? It was like silk satin, and it was like for little kids, so it stopped like halfway through her back, right? And I was like, this is your anti-cussing cape, right? And every time she sat down with me, she had to put it on.
So she went.
Every time she sat down with me, I was like, no, you gotta put on your cape.
It's like, right? You're not gonna cuss today.
No, you're talking crazy. You gotta put on your cape, right?
Cape time. Here you go. Cape time. You went way too far.
She put the cape on, and then like because she had it on, it was just something to remind her of the words that were coming out of her mouth.
Really? That small little gesture?
Stuff like that. Yes, I'm telling you, it's effective, right? And I'll be like, oh, wow, you got the cape on. And she'll be like, oh, that's right. My bad. So, right. And then she'll try to rephrase what she's saying. Absolutely. Stuff like that absolutely works. And when you see that, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Like, wow, this stuff actually works. And people were actually responsive to it.
It's everything.
You know, wow.
The kid that responds, it's like I could go on for days about these success stories because I really, really love, I love it. One kid who is like.
What, do you really love teaching?
I do. I really, really do. I really, really
do.
You
know, there's a special breed of people like you because
and if anything, that's the thing I'm most insecure about.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Well, because you're
so like naturally gifted, at least from my point of view.
Exactly.
It seems like
and
how
that's
you
the reason
just comes natural to teach.
And that's the reason why I'm insecure about it, because people look at me, they have, a few conversations with me, and the first thing that they take away is that she's smart. Right? And if you have a little bit more conversations, or if you see me work, you'll be like, dang, she just knows stuff. So she's good at stuff, right? Naturally gifted. So how did somebody as naturally gifted as you just settle for teaching? You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like you work with kids? Right? I'll be like, and I'm not ashamed of what I do at all. I'll be like, I'm a tutor, right? I don't even say teacher. Oh, I'm a tutor, right? Okay. And they'll be like, oh, what age group? Really? High school kids. Oh, you work with them kids? How you do that, girl? Oh, them kids is bad. How you?
I'm like, really?
And I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
But again, it's hard.
I understand, because I will be honest with you. People say I'm smart. I never felt smart. I hear that, but I don't take it personally. I just you
can't.
Right? I try to make sure I'm humble. Good swig.
I don't know why I did. I don't know why I moved away. The camera's still not facing me. You gotta have some bloopers of this or something, because I don't know where I was.
This is all going in, baby. This is all going in.
They can't see me.
Let me turn my camera on you.
I'm like,
she's drinking a beer, guys. Me too. No, but okay.
They can't see me. Sorry, guys. It's fresh after work. It's been a long day. It's
okay. You're an adult. But I think for me, I struggle because I get really impatient. Because okay, Chris, and me, this is how I feel. If I explain it to you and logically as simply as possible, and then you don't get it, I'm done with you.
Wow.
I don't mean to. I just get frustrated so fast because I'm like, okay, if I break it down once or twice, and then you repeat it back, and then you change it up the second time or third time or fourth time, and you just don't get it, or it's just confusing when it's something that's very simple to understand. I get really frustrated to the point I don't even want to talk to you because I don't even get why you don't get something so simple.
You know what's funny?
And I hate that. I don't like that part about me. It's just something I'm
the same way with adults.
Really?
I'm actually the same way. It depends on who you are, right?
Okay,
when I'm at work, I understand that these kids need something from me.
Okay, yeah.
But when I go to work,
adults.
right, and I'm working with these kids, right, I'll be super patient. But then I'll go home and deal with my brother, and I'll be like, bro, I know you know how to count.
I know you, dog. I know what you know.
Right, and I'll get frustrated, right? And they be like, how you tutoring the whole world, but you can't tutor your little brother? I'm like, I know he know how to count.
Different.
You better add them numbers,
man,
right?
Oh my god!
And it's the same thing with the adults.
When you know the person, or you know, and for sure with adults, that's where my weakness is with adults.
Because I'm like,
it's okay, fine. But no, weakness with adults, because it's like, how are you 35 years old and don't understand? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's this for me. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
If 2 + 2 is 4, then 2 + 3 would be 5. I don't see why you can't figure out that one more number is 3. One more extra number to 2 is 3, so it'd be one more number extra to the answer.
I get it.
But then people don't understand, and then I get frustrated. I'm like, why don't you? I don't understand why you don't get it, and why is it so confusing, and why? And then I get impatient, and then I just get frustrated where I just don't want to talk, so I shut down.
That's
my weakness.
I had this. The way you're talking, I had this.
Okay.
Even working with kids, which is terrible. But I've been doing this for about 10 years.
Okay.
A little more, almost 12 years. I've been working with
you
with
did coaching too, right? You did coaching too? Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
Tutored Boys and Girls Club. I coached basketball, boys and girls.
Okay.
A couple times. Got a little AAU team on the side. All of it.
Dang, that's what's up. Proud of you. That's what's up. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I wish I was like you in that area.
But here's the thing, though. What's crazy about this is, as much as I do, I get paid like a regular person. like a regular person. The blessings that I experience is that it's just me, right? And I'm really good with money, so I'm able to live the way I want to live. But I know I haven't made it yet because I can't go to Target on a random Wednesday and overspend.
Gotcha.
That's how you know when you made it.
Okay,
you know what I mean? When you can walk into Target or Costco and drop an extra $150 that you ain't planned for, and it don't hurt you. You made it.
I understand. I understand that. I get that.
Mama, we made it. That's the moment.
We didn't got to think about money.
That's the moment.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the moment.
I understand that. I
do. 10 years and working, homework, all of that stuff. But when I got to where I'm at now, I started working with our SPED population and people who have really severe learning disabilities.
Okay.
Who can't count change.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Really small.
Okay.
Yes. So they need to add, 50 cents plus 75 cents and they can't do it.
Okay.
So then I'm like, then I got to dig deep.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, I got some quarters. I remember I went around the building looking for quarters. I need 15 quarters. Okay. You got collect the quarters and then bring them back. Okay. How much is it? 20. Right. People can count money.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So then that's 50 cents, right? And then, okay, how much is that? 75. Okay, so how much is that all together, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then they like, oh, it's $1.25. You like, right? So even the most basic stuff, we take that for granted, and that's a privilege.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And that goes.
That's a privilege.
And that's why that goes back to the victim mentality in my head. It's dude, I'm grateful because my body's working, my mind is on point. Boom. I can speak. I have a voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when it's going back. Before it's I don't want to have people have that mentality, and I think it's more not as a the situation. I just don't want people to adopt the mentality like it's okay just to be a victim and take it.
Right.
Like, I think that's really more my
I
point
can see
is
that.
like,
I can see that.
Just I know there's victims out there that do, but you don't have to identify as a victim. No. You can always just figure out a different way about it. But I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's going to be
nothing's easy.
Everyone's the same. I'm not saying like, well, this just pick your bootstraps, but it's just like, just don't be a victim. Just don't stay in the victimhood. Don't be there. Like,
but that conversation happens after they're no longer being victimized. Yeah. Right? Or even if they're still in the process of being victimized, like that, what you're saying is absolutely right. But we have to pick the times when that message is going to be received.
Yeah, that's true. And they have to be ready for that message.
Exactly. Because if somebody is still filled in their heart and in their head, and that's their emotion piece where that they are being victimized, they don't hear nothing you saying. Because it's like, you're telling me not to be a victim, but I'm constantly getting punched in the face.
I'm saying you don't have to be a victim. You just don't have to take the mentality of staying in like, I'm just stuck in here and this is the way my life is and I can't get out. Like, that's where it is. It's like, I just don't want you to be stuck there forever. Because you can get out. And you may be that one case that's the one rare case. But you don't know. But if you stay doing this, then you will be there for sure. For sure. And that's what I don't want. Because I see that a lot, you know. I agree with that. That's just me personally. I think if people can start getting that more and more and just slowly digesting that over time, you'll start realizing like, oh, I'm way more blessed than I thought.
And that we would need a whole nother podcast for that. I know. Because that's like, how do you take control of your own life? Yeah. Right. And that's people who are living lives that are unhappy. Yeah. That hate their job, hate their relationship, hate their house, hate their city, and are living unhappy. Right.
Quit your job.
And
leave
you're
the
like,
relationship.
yeah, you need to learn how to take over your life. Like, you are not an innocent bystander. You're not a victim to your life. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's, if you don't like your job, quit. You know what I mean? Like,
no one's making you stay.
You have to take control. So that argument, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But that doesn't go to somebody who is constantly living in trauma.
Yeah, and which you have to drop a smaller seed and kind of plant, water that seed over and over until they start,
who's ready to receive.
Yeah, that is a whole other podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. Like, boo, live your life.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's control of it. But I see a lot of people who aren't. I mean, they have situations, which we all do have situations. Right. But some people learn that you're grateful for what they have, and then just go on beyond that. Some people are so pissed at the world that they stay there. Yes. And I don't want you to be pissed at the world for that. You stay there for another 30 years, and you only be there for 10 days. True. You don't got to wander around for 40 years. You'd be done in 11 days. Dude. And that's the point I want to make is
you could be done in 11 days.
That's what you could be. But you stay stuck and mad and blaming everybody else when you actually have the power. God gave you the tools. Like, he put this in you way before you were born. I'm getting goosebumps. Shoot.
And it's going to take you 40 years, but it could be done in 11 days. But you can't check your emotions. Yeah. You can't check your mouth.
And once you realize it's all in here, it ain't out there. Some stuff is out there.
That's a word,
but you got to be in here. You
That's a word.
You got to put that positive juice in here to make you look different out there. So when you see the crazy shit, you realize like, all right, well, this is true. But also, I don't have to be doing this. I don't have to look at you like this way. I can empathize and still move in my course. Yes. And that's what I think as a people, and this is not, I mean, we're all different, but as a people, anybody can learn this. Anybody should be, like, not should, but anybody can learn it. And for me personally, it changed my life,
Can learn it, yes. When we choose to teach things is just as important. The way we choose to teach things is just as important.
Yeah, and I'm not that patient. So
it's like the J. Cole song, right? Everybody was going in on bro, and I'm like,
why was everybody tripping?
I don't know, but it was getting on my nerves.
I was mad. We got 2 minutes, but I was mad.
That's literally the reason. That's one of the reasons why I literally shut down my Facebook and my Instagram. Like, it's no longer on my phone. I cannot. Really? Yeah. Like, I can't see that stuff. I can't see the stuff about the coronavirus anymore. I'm tired. I can't see stuff about J. Cole anymore. I'm tired. I can't see anything about the civil unrest. And I love y'all. I'm supporting y'all. I'm with the cause and all of that. Like, the way I spend my money, all of that. Like, y'all know I'm an ally to the cause. Yeah. But I can't see that every day.
Yeah, I understand. Because that's going to put you in that. It's going to put you in that emotional frame to react the way that everybody wants you to react, which is the people who control this country.
Because then at a certain point, I don't have to give to me. I don't have enough to make sure that I'm good. And if I don't have enough to make sure I'm good, I can't make sure that my family's good. I can't make sure that the kids that I'm supporting are good. I can't make sure that my friends are good. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm operating at a deficit, right?
And that's why you need to be good, so then you can fill somebody else up. So they can,
put your mask on first in there.
That's what they say in airplanes.
Put your mask on first.
Yeah.
And then help somebody else.
100%.
And then everybody is looking at that like, Nah, like I'm gonna put the mask on my baby. I'm gonna put it on my child. And even my mom is like that. I'm like, cool. Maybe it's because I don't have any children, so I don't understand. And I'll take that. However, Chantel is putting her mask on first.
If it's me, my daughter, as a parent, I'll tell you, I'll put both her masks on at the same time. That's what I do. I'm grabbing mine and hers.
Because you got two hands. Okay, come on, parent.
If I have one hand, I'll be like, okay, then you get mine on, then you know what I'm saying?
Come on, parent.
You know, so that's what I'm saying.
We could do it at the same time.
Exactly.
On
you know
three.
What I mean? 1, 2, 3. But, I'm so glad you came over and did this, Chantel.
For sure.
This is super, dope. You got to come on again.
Oh, anytime, yo. This was seriously? Fun.
Yeah, I love doing this. I found, this is my passion.
I love
this is the way I can teach, is this way. I can't tell somebody what to do, but if they hear this and then 10 years later they get it, cool. If they don't, whatever.
The fact that you created this is mind-blowing to me, because I've always wanted to do a podcast. I actually applied to do one with Spotify and they turned me down.
What?
Yeah, I swear. I've always wanted to do a podcast because I got a lot to say.
Well, you got to be on here more often.
For sure. Come on,
we got to do this. But I appreciate you. Anything you want to say to the viewers before we leave?
Nah, not really.
Black Power?
Y'all already said it. I don't need to explain
I know.
Anybody who know me. I don't need to explain my stance to people who don't know me.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I guess they gonna find out because y'all was listening.
Yeah,
or maybe I wasn't.
They will. Don't trip. But thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Until the next time on Unpack Your Bag Podcast, we're gonna pack our bag again. Until next time, love you. Peace, love, and hair grease. Talk to you soon. And I'm really sweaty. Don't trip. I'm putting it out there. Bye-bye.